Reza. How are you?
I'm doing well, Sharon. How are you?
Good. You look great.
Thank you. You're very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm really excited about the show. I watched the first few episodes. It's really fun. I'm curious when you were pitched the show, I guess, what were your thoughts and what made you say yes?
So, my thoughts were extreme fear, the thought of cohabitating with grown adults and sleeping in a twin bed and sharing a bathroom with not appealing to my fancy ass. But the opportunity for redemption and the fact that it was a funny show and that it wasn't murder and dark and angry was very appealing to me. And getting out of the Bravo world or NBC Universal and going somewhere else and seeing the way things could be, it was the most professional set I've ever worked on. You would have thought they were making $100 million Hollywood blockbuster. I'd never seen so many cameras. They took such good care of us.
Wow. And a show called The Goat of all things would be yeah, the most
Brilliant
professional.
name, totally. Who knew?
Wait, so yeah, talk to me about that redemption. Obviously, I'm sure you weren't thrilled with going out early on the Traitors. It was tough to see you go out because you were really fun to watch. So yeah, did you have that mentality of like, listen, I got to get back on another competition show?
I totally had that mentality, but if I could break the fourth wall and be totally honest, Shahs had just gotten canceled. They offered me this show called Traitors. They hyped it up like, oh, could you imagine your wardrobe on the backdrop of that castle? First of all, I couldn't wear any labels. It was so ghetto. It was like an Airbnb castle. If you walked to certain parts of it, there was like, it was falling apart. It was so low rent. They had people from like off the street as contestants who were looking at me going, "You have money and $1,000 shoes. What are you doing here? You don't need this money." And literally the first day, I told the producers that I didn't want to be there and there was no infrastructure there, and they didn't take good care of us. So to have this other opportunity, I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to redeem myself, and I had such low expectations. And when I got there, it wasn't even my home. It wasn't Bravo or Peacock or NBC Universal, and they treated me way better than my former network. So it was like, okay, it took that nasty taste out of my mouth of being so like disappointed by this place that like was so special to me previously. I got to come and like have this amazing opportunity and try and redeem myself, and I'm so grateful to Amazon for it.
Yeah, Amazon, let's bring Shaw's back, right? Come on.
Hey, absolutely.
Well, I love that. And you did mention that you had to live together this time. I know they say on the Traders you guys live together. I know you guys don't. How
No.
was it living with other people,
It
reality
was the
stars?
thing I was dreading the most. I didn't want to share a bathroom. I didn't want to be in a small bed, and I didn't want to cohabitate with people, but it turned out to be the best part of the show. The pillow talk at night when cameras were down, kikiing with Justin and Wendell and Jason, who were in my room, were some of the best memories of Goat Manor. It was like adult sleepaway camp on steroids. I grew up, I don't know if you saw the movie Argo, but I grew up during the hostage crisis in Iran, and my parents wouldn't let me go to sleepaway camp because they thought I was going to get kidnapped for ransom. So to get to have rich people sleepaway camp at a mega mansion in Atlanta with Tosh as the host and like Amazon who rolled the red carpet out for us was unreal. I couldn't believe they were paying me to do it.
Well, I love that. It sounds like you had fun. You mentioned you kind of wanted to get away from the Bravo thing. Were you worried when you saw other Bravo people there, or were you like, all right, is this going to be an alliance? Do I not really want to do this?
So to be 100% transparent, my manager warned me about Jill and told me that she was a backstabber, but Jill and I seemed like we were cool before we got in the house, but I should have heeded my manager's advice. And come to find out, I'm very much like Kristen. So whatever issues I had about her or towards her was because she was clearly holding up a mirror to me and like making me realize, oh, that behavior that you don't appreciate in other people, you got to look at yourself a little bit, homeboy.
Yeah, we all get that sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, so had you met Jill before, just like in passing, or what was your sort
So
of relationship?
my relationship with Jill was she got canceled from her show and fired, and Shaw's was on fire and on Bravo. And I didn't even know the lady from a hole in the wall. And she was commenting on social media that Bravo's gone downhill since she left. Look at this Middle Eastern fag. He's at this gay bar. She didn't say fag. He's this Middle Eastern guy's at a gay bar sniffing or licking armpits because there was this cute twink and he had his arms in the air and I might have gone in for like a little sniff. And so she was making disparaging comments about me. I didn't even know her. We get invited to a dinner later on, and she had to write an apology letter and drop off some cookies because she was worried that I wouldn't like her. And she was right because she was so horrible to me on social media and I didn't know her. And so we made cool then, and we get into the house, and every chance she got, she was talking about me. Reza's this, he's toxic. Reza doesn't exude confidence. Reza's gotta go. And it's like when you have someone in the house, you know who you think is cool with you, but in reality is doing you dirty every step, every chance she gets, made it very difficult for me. And I got emotional, and you're gonna see it on the show. But I wish I I I wish hadn't known Jill. I wish I could have just experienced her in the house because what you saw on Below Deck, I don't know if you saw her behavior on Below Deck, but that's who she is, and that's what she did in Goat Manor. She acted like we were at her house and that production were her servants, and she was no bueno.
Yikes. Okay, so you definitely did have a history a little bit before, and it wasn't a good
Totally.
one.
Yeah, it wasn't
Wow.
a good one.
All right, well, that gives context and makes a lot more sense, Reza. So thank you for clearing that
Yeah,
up.
I thought she and I were cool, but clearly we're not, and we weren't.
Who else in the house did you know? Anyone from the Netflix or any of the
I
other?
knew Kristen very well because we used to do promo shoots together for Vanderpump and Shaw's. Literally, we'd be in the same building at the same time doing our promo shoots. But I didn't have like a major connection with anyone. And I got closest to Justin, Alyssa Edwards, and Wendell and Jason, who were in my room, which was the best part of being on that show.
That's so funny because I would assume it would be the worst part, like you originally did.
Totally.
Um, what else? Oh, so yeah, any other prep you did to go, get into this competition, or you were like, let me just see what it is?
It was more, let me see what it is, but also learn your lessons from traders and, the non-celebrity people who had an issue with me trying to make a good show. Because I went from 9 seasons of Shaw's trying to make a good show to going on to traders thinking I'm trying to make a good show. And people are like, oh, he's loud. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. Bitch, I've been on reality TV for a long time. Instead of complaining, watch me and figure out like, oh, that might be what production's looking for. So I what I went into the house with was try and like be a little more under the radar as opposed to getting eliminated first.
No, that's smart. I think that was smart. And do you look at like, I don't know, this gamers versus non-gamers? Like, did you have that in your head? Like, okay, that person's one survivor, or was that like, it doesn't matter?
No, it matters more than you would ever know because from the get-go, the evil warlord, Devon, and her little minions were running the show because Devon was throwing competitions, throwing votes to get Kristen agitate. Like everything was like, oh my God, I watched that on Big Brother. I watched that on Survivor. And so I took one look at her quads and I was like, oh, this lady is like that's Flojo. That's not Devon. Like she's here to win. And her energy was the the people with competition backgrounds, their energy was we're here to work and win this money. Not we're here to have fun, not we're here to make friends. It was one gear. And that's I didn't connect with Devon at all whatsoever as a result of that because it was very transparent what she was doing. And watching her interviews back, Homegirl was talking like she had already won the competition.
Ooh. Yeah, there definitely is a disconnect for people that like go on wanting to make good TV versus or winning and or doing both or just has, their head in the clouds. I think there's always a mix of those people on these
Yes.
shows. Um, so who else did you sort of who were you worried about? Who were the threats other than Jill, Devon, anyone else?
Well, what I learned from Traitors too is like, don't sleep on the old lady in the group. Like, the older lady who you count out, like, could be slick AF and will get far, and you're underestimating her because it's a woman, she's older. And that happened to me both on Traders and on the GOAT. So for all of you who are thinking about getting on a competition show, the old lady game and the old lady factor is something to take into consideration.
Okay. And it's safe to say, like, any sort of relationships or friendships that, like, the friendships that you formed, are they still good today? And then I'm assuming you haven't made up with Jill and Davon, clearly.
Well, I haven't spoken to or communicated with Devon since we left the show. I've had minimal interaction with Jill, but I made a bestie in Justin. I'm good friends with Jason. I love Tech, Joe. I love Lauren. I love Tasha. Honestly, the only people in the house that I wasn't cool with were Davon and Jill. Davon, just because she wasn't there to give anything, she was there to just take. And Jill, you know, I have a history with her, and I wish she wasn't in the house because our history kind of played with my head a little bit while I was playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I didn't know that context and I probably would have felt the same way. And then yeah, Davon, she hasn't won a show yet, and I think she just really wants to win, so I get
I,
it.
hello, I rolled in with 9 seasons of Shahs of Sunset, 1 season of Yours, Mine, or Ours, and The Traitors. Like, my resume is a scroll that hit the floor. This poor lady, she's been on a million competition shows, never won. And so looking back on it, I have a lot more compassion and understanding for what she was doing there. Like, I'm there, like, hey, let's have fun, make friends, maybe I'll get to the end. She was playing a different game, and I have a lot more respect for what she was trying to accomplish.
Oh, well, that makes me happy because I love Damon. She is a good person. But yeah, she's competitive. Well, okay, I know we have to wrap up. I can't steal all your time. Any other shows you're dying to do? I just have to know, Reza, where are
Oh
we gonna
my
see you?
God. I would cut something off to be on Celebrity Big Brother
Let's do
or
it.
on Survivor to watch myself try to navigate the Survivor or Big Brother waters is just something I want to try to do and see where I get. That's my dream. One of those two shows because I watch them religiously, and I'm so in awe of the people that, are able to do the social and the physical and get to the end. So
Yeah.
that would be my dream.